What you're struck by is people's resilience and the way that the community has come together. And obviously that's testimony to the leadership of the governor and the mayor. But it's also inherent as part of the American spirit. We go through hard times, but no matter how hard we may be tested, we maintain our faith and we look to each other to make sure that we're supporting each other and helping each other. I'm sure that that spirit is going to continue until the city is all the way back. So, Mr. Mayor, he was pointing out that there's a lot of national media down here now. And the mayor expressed the concern that perhaps the media will move on in a day or a week or a month. And that folks will forget what's happened here. And I want to assure him that the American people all across the country are with him and his community. And we're going to make sure that you're not forgotten and that we do everything we can to make sure that we rebuild. So with that, Governor, would you like to say a few words? Governor Bentley, I would. And, Mr. President, I would like to personally thank you and Mrs. Obama for coming and visiting Alabama, because you know as you fly over this, and I did yesterday as you fly over it from the air. It does not do it justice until you're here on the ground. And I just want you to know how much I appreciate that. We asked for, we've mobilized the state. We declared a state of emergency early on, even before the first tornadoes hit. And then we mobilized our National Guard the first day. We then asked the president for aid and we asked him to expedite that, and they have done that. And I just want you to know how much I appreciate that, Mr. President, because all these people appreciate that so much. We have 8 counties across the state that have been hit by major tornadoes. This probably is the worst one, but we have others. As you go across the state, you see the same evidence of tornadoes all across the state. And so there are people that are hurting. We have now 210 confirmed deaths in Alabama. We have one. $700 injured. We have a number of people missing at the present time. We're going to continue to work in a rescue type mode, but we're now more in a recovery mode. Thank you, Mr. President. If you'll keep him off of me. The President, I'm going to keep my eye on you. We're looking out for each other. That's Governor Bentley. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. But let me say I am so proud of our first responders in this state. They have done an outstanding job. Our mayors, our county commissioners. Our police, our firemen, they have all just done a fantastic job. Our Emma people, we have got a great team. They've all worked together. And now we have the federal government helping us. And, that just shows when locals and state and federal government works together. We can get things accomplished, and that's what we're going to do. And so, Mr. President, welcome to Alabama, but not under these circumstances. We want you to come back and maybe go to a football game over here at a later day and when things are better. But thank you for your help. The President, I will gladly come back. Governor Bentley, thank you, sir. The President, Mr. Mayor, if you'd like to say a few words. Mayor Maddox, Mr. President, Governor, Mrs. Obama, thank you for coming today. The last. "36 hours have been probably the most trying time in this community's history. But you're going to see a new story being written here in Tuscaloosa. And in the years to come these chapters are going to be fueled with hope and opportunity. Since this tragedy began, I've been using Romans 12:12 when Paul wrote under persecution. Rejoice in our confident hope. Well, today, Mr. President, your visit here has brought a confident hope to this community. And in the days, weeks, and months to come, we're going to be a story that you're going to be very proud of and you can talk about across this land. Thank you again for coming today. The President, well, thank you for your leadership. And two last points I want to make. First of all, we've got our congressional delegation here. and I am absolutely confident that they will make sure that the resources are available to help rebuild. To all the local officials who are here, I know that they've been personally affected. But I know that they're going to provide the leadership in this community, working with the mayor and the governor to do what is needed. And finally, I think the mayor said something very profound as we were driving over here. He said, "What's amazing is when something like this happens, folks forget all their petty differences. Politics, differences of religion or race. All that fades away when we are confronted with the awesome power of nature. And we're reminded that all we have is each other. And so hopefully that spirit continues and grows. If nothing else comes out of this tragedy, let's hope that that's one of the things that comes out. So thank you very much, everybody. Barack Obama. Al Arabiya television interview with Hisham Melam. Delivered January 26, 2009. Mr. Melam, Mr. President, thank you for this opportunity, we really appreciate it. President Obama, thank you so much. Mr. Melam, sir, you just met with your personal envoy to the Middle East, Senator Mitchell. Obviously, his first task is to consolidate the ceasefire. But beyond that, you've been saying that you want to pursue actively and aggressively peacemaking between the Palestinians and the Israelis. Tell us a little bit about how do you see your personal role, because, you know, if the President of the United States is not involved, nothing happens, as the history of peacemaking shows. Will you be proposing ideas, pitching proposals, parameters, as one of your predecessors did? Or just urging the parties to come up with their own resolutions, as your immediate predecessor did? President Obama, well, I think the most important thing is for the United States to get engaged right away. Mr. Mellum, right. President Obama, and George Mitchell is somebody of enormous stature. He is one of the few people who have international experience brokering peace deals. And so what I told him is start by listening, because all too often the United States starts by dictating. In the past on some of these issues, and we don't always know all the factors that are involved. So, let's listen. He's going to be speaking to all the major parties involved, and he will then report back to me. From there, we will formulate a specific response. Ultimately, we cannot tell either the Israelis or the Palestinians what's best for them. They're going to have to make some decisions. But I do believe that the moment is ripe for both sides to realize that the path that they are on is one that is not going to result in prosperity and security for their people. And that, instead, it's time to return to the negotiating table. It's going to be difficult, it's going to take time. I don't want to prejudge many of these issues, and I want to make sure that expectations are not raised so that we think that this is going to be resolved in a few months. But if we start steady progress on these issues, I'm absolutely confident that the United States, working in tandem with the European Union, with Russia, with all the Arab states in the region, I'm absolutely certain that we can make significant progress. Mr. Melhem, you've been saying essentially that we should not look at these issues like the Palestinian-Israeli track. And separation from the border region, you've been talking about a kind of holistic approach to the region. Are we expecting a different paradigm, in the sense that in the past one of the critiques, at least from the Arab side, the Muslim side, is that everything the Americans always tested with the Israelis, if it works, now there is an Arab peace plan, there is a regional aspect to it. And you've indicated that. Would there be any shift, a paradigm shift? President Obama, well, here's what I think is important. You look at the proposal that was put forth by King Abdullah of Saudi Arabia. Mr. Melhem, right. President Obama, I might not agree with every aspect of the proposal, but it took great courage. Mr. Melhem, absolutely. President Obama, to put forward something that is as significant as that. I think that there are ideas across the region of how we might pursue peace. I do think that it is impossible for us to think only in terms of the Palestinian-Israeli conflict. And not think in terms of what's happening with Syria or Iran or Lebanon or Afghanistan and Pakistan.